And if you'd like, you can start just in your seated position, like an easy pose, or you can also start on your back. Maybe if you start on your backs, have your feet together with the blocks under the knees. Just giving ourselves some support with the blocks. So starting in reclined butterfly, or you could also start in your easy pose, maybe seated butterfly. Looks like we're all in reclined butterfly. So in our reclined butterfly, maybe just giving awareness to the breath start as we drop in. And exhale to sigh, just letting the breath leave the body. And drawing the breath in. And letting it go. Maybe adjusting the upper back, the shoulder blades. Maybe create some space between them to feel the back just a little bit wider or more open a moment ago. Our posture of the week is our tree pose. So perhaps one aspect of a tree that we can bring into our practice today is that of the dormancy of trees. How at this time of year, they just gently and slowly begin to shed their leaves. Soon those leaves are gone and the trees are bare. They transition to preserve their energy so they can bud anew in spring. So as we drop into our sacred space today, just considering what leaves can we drop in order to preserve a little energy. Are there any shoulds that we do every day? I should do this, I should do this. When really we don't need to, we just kind of feel compelled. There's no judging. Kind of noticing where we're sending our energy, where we're expending our energy, and where we could draw it back into ourselves to really nourish, renew. On an exhale, let's draw our knees to our chest, and the symbol of drawing our energy in, maybe even lifting the head towards the knees, and then bringing ourselves to center. Maybe bringing the shoulder blades back to the ground. And then we'll send our feet towards the sky. Let's flex the feet towards the face. And we're just going to give ourselves a few breaths here with the feet towards the face and opening across the backs of the legs, flexing the feet, exhaling and inhaling. Then we'll inhale to point the toes, be opening the top across the top of the feet, fronts of the legs, pointing the toes, letting go. Now let's exhale to bring those knees to a bend. We'll be finding the sides of the feet. Come into our happy. Maybe it feels better today to bring the hands behind the hamstring, behind the knees. Just let the weight of the hands press on the hamstrings. So like, yeah, sometimes this is my go-to happy baby. Any expression Remembering that we're not here to make a posture. We're not here to create a shape. We're here for the shape to get us into our body. Shapes are here for us. We're not here for them. They're here for us as we tap into this spiritual, subtle body experience. So let this happy baby be here for you, not just today, but always. You notice how the breath fills the body on this shape. Now let's gently bring those feet come together, let the legs come long, coming out of our back into a little shavasana, maybe pointing the toes, and then flexing the feet again, rolling the ankles. One more breath in. Now let's exhale, roll up to a table. Put our hands underneath shoulders and our knees underneath the hips. No rush to get there. And once we get here to table, let's just tap the tops of the feet on the ground. Looking at the tops of the feet. Maybe as you breathe out, you make an audible exhale, so it sounds kind of fun. Then let those feet come to relax, stillness, and then curl the toes under. The toes are on the ground. Maybe we kind of rock back, stretching out the bottoms of the toes, the bottoms of the feet. We can rock forward. We can rock back and forward and back. Now, even though those curls are still, toes are still curled, bring our awareness to our wrist as we go through the same motion. And maybe we pause for a moment, keep those toes where they are if it's comfortable. Turn those wrists, maybe the fingers point back just a little bit. Maybe you can rock forward and back. Stretching out the fronts of the wrists, but be really mindful. We don't want to go too far. This is a lot. This is a deep stretch. Inhale and exhale here, getting some stretch to the fronts, or the bottoms of the wrists and the forearms. Now come to stillness. Let's bring the tops of the feet back to the ground, and let's walk our arms forward, coming into puppy. If you want, you can bring your arms, your forearms on blocks. We'll drop into this puppy, stretching out the back and then the armpits here. We kind of did the wrists and the forearms, and moving our way up the arms, the armpits, the upper back. We'll drop into this nice stretch. Exhale. Where can we preserve? Where can we bring our energy in? Dropping those leaves. Maybe it's dropping an errand that we no longer need to do. Be giving ourselves the energy to let this question be in our space for today, maybe the upcoming days. We can just have a little bit more awareness as to where we're putting our energy. In yoga, we might call that brahmacharya. What are we giving our energy to? Breathe in. And then we'll exhale to come off the blocks if you were on them, coming back to table. And then in this tabletop position, let's bring that left hand under the heart and sweep the right arm up. And then we'll bring ourselves in the thread and needle with the back of that right arm on the ground. Maybe the right elbow pressing down, the right shoulder. Yeah, nice job, ladies. And then the left arm forward. We just stretch the back, kind of forward and back now, side to side. Those hips can be over the knees. Those hips can be back. It's kind of, again, what feels good for you. You're not going to hurt anything here with the hips and the defensive block. Exhale. Let's inhale. Now exhale, bring that left hand kind of back under the shoulder. Bring that right arm behind you, kind of reaching towards the right. You can reach it back up to sky again. Now bring the right hand down. The fingers face the long edge of the mat. Now let's come onto our back. Bring onto our stomach. Sorry, come onto your stomach. Bring the right arm out like a T off the side of the mat. Just kind of roll over onto the right side. The right arm is behind us. Bring your head to the ground. I'm kind of opening the front of that shoulder. I'm going to move over so you guys can see it from the back. I just got my right arm out to the side and I'm on my right side. Right arm is like a T. And you can bring the leg into any position to give yourself stability in that left arm anywhere. We're opening up the front of the chest and that kind of front of that right shoulder. Feeling into the back and shoulder and arm. And threading the needle the opposite way. One more breath in. And we'll exhale to slowly bring that left arm out. Bring ourselves onto the belly. Let's bring the hands under the shoulders. Press up and back. Let's find a puppy to stretch out the back again. From the hips, shoulders. Exhale. And we'll inhale to come up to table. And now that right hand under the heart. Scoop the left arm up. And then we'll thread that needle through. Dropping that left elbow down, the left shoulder. So kind of what we're doing to the front of the body, we're doing to the back of the body as well today with this needle threading. Let out a breath. You're feeling the release in the upper back, the shoulders, wherever you feel it is where you can feel it. Right? Wherever it is where it is for you. Allow the breath to bring you into this moment. You're exactly where you need to be right now. Here, yoga together. Exhale. Inhale. Maybe sigh. Now breathe in. Now exhale to bring that left arm underneath, the left hand under the shoulder, the right arm back in table, and then lowering down onto the stomach again. That left arm comes out like a T towards the left side of the mat. And then we just press with the right hand to roll over onto the left side. And that left arm come behind us. That right leg anywhere, that left leg anywhere. Just help us be steady on this side so we can really open across the front of that shoulder. And we don't want any pain. So giving yourself the freedom to find whatever variation. This is going to open across the chest and shoulder. And if this really doesn't feel comfortable, you can bring your hand to a wall or to a piece of furniture and just bring the hand there and just open up away from the heart. One more breath in. Let's exhale to bring ourselves onto the stomach. And now from here, let's bring the hands under the shoulders again. We'll press up and back to downward facing dog. Lengthening the spine in our downward facing dog. Hips to the sky, feet to the ground. Maybe you bring the knees into bending one at a time or both at the same time. Dropping the knees to the ground, dropping the chest towards those thighs, stretching out the legs. I know that these are champions that downward facing dog. So let it speak to you and just let it be here for you. Breathing in and out. You swaying hips side to side. Gentle movement. One more breath here. And exhale, let's slowly walk our feet towards the front of the mat. One at a time, little by little, there's no rush. And once you get those feet to the front, we drop the knees, we bend the knees, drop the hips. Let's roll up slowly to stand. Reach arms overhead, hands can meet together or they can be apart. Let's come into a side body stretch. So with our arms overhead, I'm going to move this camera. We'll exhale to bend over to the right. Just giving ourselves the side body stretch. And over to the left. Now back to the middle. Then bring our arms out to the side. Like a T. And then down to the side body. And then from here, let's bring our hands to the thighs. And just make some circles with the knees. Maybe you can bring the feet into that action too. And then around and around. Maybe we come on to stillness, come onto the balls of the feet. And then to the heels, back and forth. Then let yourself come into those knee circles again. If you want, you can bring your right hand to the left leg and the left hand to the right leg, and you can bring a little Saturday Night Fever into the whole thing. Woo! Nice, you guys got it. And now let's bring ourselves to stillness, folded forward, Uttanasana. Exhale and inhale. Let's sway side to side. Come into a neutral spine, hands on the shins. If you bend the knees, let's rise up. And then bring those hands to interlace in front of the body. And then we're just going to roll the wrists around. Maybe offer this. Letting them come around and around. Bending knees if you need to, wiggling out. And let's bring our arms out like a T. Exhale. Let the hands come together. Inhale to find length when we get there. And then we'll exhale to fold forward, Uttanasana. Nice. Let's inhale to step the left foot back, or the left knee down, the left hand on the ground. And then we'll inhale to reach up over to the right. Nice. A gentle twist here. Twisting gently. And then exhale, bring the hand to the outside of that foot, the right side, and move the block if you want. Then reach the left arm up. And with our arm on this side of the body, on that left side, tuck the arm in front and down, and then bring it back and up and around. And you can switch directions, but just giving yourself the shoulder some movement here. And then as you're ready, bring that left hand back to the inside of that right foot. Now bring the right hand on the inside of the right foot. Bring the right foot out to the right side of the mat and drop the knee open for our lizard. So bringing it wide and dropping the knee out, hands on the ground or on your blocks. Finding that lizard shape. Maybe letting out a sigh. And moving these joints in all directions today. Exhale, Uttanasana. And your next exhale, plant that foot, bring it back in kind of towards the mat, off this edge. Bring the hands to frame it, and then we'll send that right leg long, coming into Hanumanasana. Half splits the left knee underneath the left hip, right leg long. Breathe in and out. Folding over, or maybe you lift the heart in the chest. Nice. Another breath in. And now we'll exhale to straighten that right leg, that knee over the ankle. And now we're going to bring that left foot off the mat. So we did this a couple weeks ago. So the left foot comes off the right edge of the mat. My right foot faces forward and my left foot is facing off the mat. So if we had the right leg long, it would be that gate pose. So it's like a left knee off the right side, but we're going to have that right foot facing forward. Yeah, yep, exactly. And so maybe you take blocks and you bring your blocks or just your hands off the left edge of the mat. You bring your hands on the inside of that right foot. Maybe you just sway forward and back with that right knee, opening up the inner thigh of the left leg or the hamstring of the right leg. Maybe you just come into stillness and you just rest those hands. So really just letting yourself, again, be in the shape and letting the shape work for you. We're not here for the shape. The shape is here to support us on this inward journey. Exhale. Nice. One more breath. Now on an exhale, let's walk the hands towards that left knee. And then rise up. The right foot still facing forward. The left foot is still off the mat. But now let's just bring that right foot to the ground. And now the right foot faces the long edge. So now we're setting up for that gate pose that we do so often. Yep, you got it. Bring the arms out like it. Press the right foot into the ground. Maybe feel that rebound in the inner right thigh. Bring our arms up. And we'll exhale over to the right, a side body stretch on the left side. And then exhale over to the left. Arms reaching over. And then maybe here, we inhale and find length in the right side body. And then we exhale, bring that left hand towards the earth onto a block, maybe reaching over. And then exhale, bring our arms out like a T, shoulders over the hip. Inhale, bring arms over. Now we'll exhale to fold forward with the right, or with both arms forward, that right leg out. Variation of our puppy and our gate. Right leg long. You drop onto the forearms if that feels good. And if you want, just an option, if you want to thread the needle again, you can bring that right arm underneath the chest and drop the chest down. That feels good on the shoulder. Or you can bring the arms forward, just keep both of them forward. Breathe in. And then we'll exhale to lift the head and walk the hands back towards the left knee. Bring the right knee in to meet the left knee. And then we'll just pivot onto the mat. So we'll come into our tabletop. So now we're in table, we'll be facing our mat like we normally would, instead of the long edge. And we'll drop the belly, lift the heart for our cow. And then exhale, round the spine, cat. Drop the belly, lift the heart for cow. Exhale, tuck the pelvis for cat. Now let's come into neutral spine. Everything grounded. And now let's lower down maybe under the forearms and bring that crown of the head to the ground for our rabbit pose. Seasons here, we have to do rabbit. Finding the crown of the head on the floor. The knees can be touching together. Maybe you feel more stable with them apart. The crown of the head down. The hands on either side of the head. The weight is in the knees. Maybe you bring the hands to interlace and reach those hands to sky if you want. Or you can have the hands towards the heels, the toes curled under like we had earlier in class. This has all the benefits of headstand. You can come into headstand if you want, if that's your practice, or be here in rabbit pose. We'll be here 7 more breaths. There's not any weight on the head, it's on the knees. Inversion here. Ah. 3 more breaths. One more breath in. On your exhale, gently lower the hands down. If they were lifted, bring the hands on either side of the head. And bring the tops of the feet to the earth. Either walk the hands forward for a puppy, maybe on the forearms, or sit back in child's pose, but nice and slow. Sometimes after a headstand or rabbit, I'll bring my hands into fists and stack my fists and bring my forehead to the fist. Then we'll slowly begin to lift the head. There's no rush. We were just in inversion for a while. So kind of slowly making our way back up to table. Exhaling. Table. Nice and slow. Don't want to head rush. We don't want to feel dizzy. So we move with awareness. Slowness. Now from here, breathe in. And we'll exhale to step that left foot forward, coming into that low lunge. If you want, you can have your blocks with you. Let's drop that right hip forward, that left knee over the ankle, rising up to our low lunge. Breathe in and out. Exhale. Let's bring the block on the inside of that left foot. The right hand plants, and we'll come into our revolve side angle pose. Nice. Nice. Now exhale, bring that left hand to a block. The inside of that foot or on the outside is fine too. And then we'll open up the right arm to the side. Notice if you have a sway in your body. If you feel either way, it's fine. Exhale to bring that right hand back down to the block. And then we'll exhale to straighten that left leg, coming into our Hanumanasana, holding over and surrendering over that front leg. Blocks or hands down to the earth. Maybe on this exhale, we drop into that query just energetically of what can we let go of, what leaves can we drop. It doesn't have to be anything, of great magnitude. It can be, oh, maybe I don't need to, I don't know what it could be. Like send that text I don't know you guys, but you know what I mean. Just it doesn't have to be this life earth-shattering revelation. It can be these little things, weight, or maybe just even managing our time better. But what can we let go of to preserve and give ourselves more energy for the season that is upon us of fall? Notice that trees don't always drop their leaves all at once. It can be this little by little, kind of trimming down. Breathe in. And we'll exhale, bend that knee again. So the left knee's over the left ankle. And now we're going to come into that shape that we just did where we bring that right foot off the left edge of the mat. So the right foot faces the left edge, the left foot is still facing forward. And then bring those hands to the right side of the mat. Yeah, and then any variation with the hand. You can bow down as deep as you want. You can lift up. Maybe you bring some movement into that left knee. This shape is here for you. Again, this is here for you. One more breath. Now, as you're ready, lift the heart, lift the chest. And then as you kind of get the back flat, let's pivot that left foot towards the long edge now. So we're kind of in that bridge setup, that bridge, that gate setup. And we'll inhale to bring the arms out, the left leg long, the right knee down, arms out, breathing in and out. Exhale. Let's inhale, bring arms overhead. And exhale to fold forward, walking the hands in front of the heart, in front of the head. And then we do our puppy variation. And if you want to thread the needle, it's the left arm that comes under the chest and reaches for the right side. Drop down into whatever expression you want your body to receive today. We're receiving our practice. Exhale. Your left arm is threaded, bring it forward. And then we'll exhale to walk our hands towards the knee. Rising up with shoulders over the hips, arms out like a T. Let's bring our hands together and find a side body stretch, reaching towards the left. Opening up the right side from the knee to the hip to the armpit, armpit to the wrist. And now exhale over towards the right, extending from that ankle to knee, hip, armpit, wrist. From here, you can let that right arm come down to the earth, reach the left arm to sky. Nice. And exhale, sweep that left hand down. Bring that right foot back to the earth. Bring that left knee to meet the right knee. So now we find ourselves in our table. Let's drop the belly with the heart for cow. And then exhale, tuck the pelvis for cat. Inhale, drop the belly for cow. And exhale, tuck the pelvis, cat. Now let's give ourselves a neutral spine, those hands underneath the shoulders, those knees underneath the wrists. Let's curl our toes under, maybe just hover those knees for a breath or two. And then lower down the knees, tops of the feet. Let's walk our hands forward and maybe scoot those knees back. And then lower down the elbows. And then let the legs come long, lowering the thighs, the hips. And lift the heart for a variation of our Sphinx. Elbows drop. We pull those elbows towards the hips and the hips towards the elbows. Lifting the heart. Breathe in. Exhale. On our next exhale, let's glance over that right shoulder. The heel. And then exhale through the center and bring the gaze over that left shoulder. Looking back. Now inhale, bring the head forward. Lower down the belly, lower down the ribs. Let's keep the heart lifted and just reach those fingertips back towards the heels. With those fingertips reaching back, let's lift the right foot off the ground just a little. And lower the right leg, the right foot. Then we'll inhale to draw the left foot off the ground, fingertips reach back. Draw the left foot. And now bring those hands underneath the forehead and come on to the stomach. We'll pause here, breathing into the belly, into the floor. Exhale. Allow your energy to drop into the front of the body. Energy to settle. And flutter down, drift down to the earth. And as you're ready, take our way to our back. Maybe you want to stay on your belly for Shavasana. That might be a change. We'll come onto the back. And exhale, drifting, dropping, surrendering onto the back body. If there's any posture that we didn't get to that you feel would be really nice offering today, give that to yourself. Remembering that it's your practice. Maybe on your next breath, just thanking yourself for being here. Notice if your energy feels as though it's moving in a certain direction. Observing your energy. Inviting ourselves throughout the day, the week, to be open to what we see that we can let drift and drop off like a leaf of our schedule. Maybe it's even a thought that we have, a recurring thought. Just letting ourselves be in the question, what can we let go of to preserve our energy? without rush, just bringing ourselves to seated